doing something different. We're doing my top 10 favorite Webkinz that I own. That will be based off how funny I think I am, my personal connection, like childhood memories. Though that usually changed over time. Like my MS as a kid, it'd be much different. But I'm making them based off connection, how much I like their character, and how much I like the plush itself. So let's begin. My number 10 spot is Shadow. Their 10th spot was a toss-up. I decided Shadow recently became my favorite Webkinz. He was originally one of my brother's Webkinz. I inherited them all of them, but I kept their personalities pretty much. Shadow's my brother Tyler's most used Webkinz, and he's just a funny character to me. Do you like the lab plush? He was named after the Sonic character, so I had that Sonic film in the background. Makes that even more ironic. Shadow's just a funny character to me. I always like him. He's kind of sympathetic in a way, but he's kind of like he messed his life up. That's the character he is. He looks a little weird in the face because he had to go for surgeries for his eyes to go back on. But the Shadow, the Black Lab, I don't got much to say about him. He's really just a funny character. If you see some of the Webkinz videos he's in, you would know why I like him so much. So there you go, Shadow. That is my name. Number 9 is Army, the Spotted Leopard. Come on, do it. He's probably one of the only ones here from just childhood stuff because he's like a background character. But like, I made his personality be like me, so it kind of have a personal connection with him as a Webkinz. Army. He's like he's kind of like me. He's not the my favorite Webkinz for that, but he always had that connection for some of the other Webkinz that are supposed to be like me, like Yippee or Mickey, who kind of branch off their own thing. Army's still kind of supposed to be like me, I guess. So that's why I kind of like him. But since I don't like myself that much, he's not that high. I have a personal connection with him. He's not the most interesting Webkinz, but because of that, it's always been one of my go-tos. Even though I was like a street man, but he's not my favorite, absolute favorite. But he just is one of my favorites. Number 8 is Birthday the Hippo. He's one of my classic fat people, and he was my go-to fat people. I got him on my birthday, which is why I named him Birthday. And he burps. His personality is just kind of just a slob with a heart of gold, I guess. But he isn't the most interesting Webkinz, to be honest. But he's the one I had played with a lot as a kid, so that's why he's up here. And so he has a good connection to other Webkinz, like they're similar to him. That makes him a funny Webkinz. He has his kind of lazy attitude, and he kind of just doesn't really care that much. But in a way, makes him kind of charming, but not like an asshole way, but like in a nice way. So that's why he's been one of my favorite Webkinz, and yeah, I had him for a long time. He's one of the old ones. Yeah, don't forget in this Webkinz. There you go. Number 7 is Denny. Well, another Webkinz from my brother. Danny's just funny as hell. He's like one of the funniest Webkinz. But just you can do a lot with him. This is a good plush design too. The parent's a little rough. Anyway, he's just a funny. He's the go-to cop, so I've used him a lot in videos for that reason. But he's the dumb cop. It's kind of cliche, but Denny seems to work around it. You just kind of see him and you just think that he's funny. He was also one of my brother's favorite Webkinz in his collection, so that's probably why he's so high. But Danny's just a funny Webkinz. And that's pretty much all he has, really. I don't have much connection to him, because I guess I had played with him recently, but I didn't use him as a kid as my brother, and I didn't really interact. My brother didn't really interact with him as much. But Danny's just a funny Webkinz. Alright, that was... let me count again. So, number 6 is Lemony Dots. Another member of the Dots family. I was going to put Lemony higher, but she isn't my favorite. What? Lemony is a pretty fun Webkinz to use. And in fact, she smacks around. It's funny, but yeah, she's a fun Webkinz. I did play this. As a kid, I had a connection to this Webkinz because my main Webkinz always interacted with her because they're married. I mean, if you've seen my videos, you probably know who number 1 is. but I'll leave you in suspense till then. So yeah, Lemony is a funny webkin. Her stick is that she doesn't like violence, but she uses violence to make sure nothing's violent, so that's kind of funny. As a member of the Dots house, one of the heads of the Dots household makes her a main member. And it's the Dots family is one of my most used family, and a lot of them are contenders for this. In fact, just 3 members of them are on the top 10 list. Lemony holds a special spot for being the mom. Actually, 4 of them hold the spot on my on my top 10 list. That's how much I like that family. So yeah, Lemony Dots is definitely a pretty funny webkin, and she does appear in a lot of videos. Or it's being Neva or a mother. She is pretty funny, and she's pretty I like the plush design a lot too, which helps a lot. Yeah, Lemony was caused a lot of troubles for the Webkinz, but that's what makes her particularly fun. Let me smack you. Smack! Speaking of Dots, here we have our next member, Harry the Webkinz Leopard. Yeah, Harry's one of my favorite Webkin. This was my brother Tyler's favorite Webkin, believe it or not. And I can see why. It was his only Webkin that was in the Dots family. Now, Harry's a troublemaker who has a heart of gold. You knows a lot of that happened. I had a lot of people like that. Now, Harry is just particularly funny because he's just kind of punk. Who he's kind of an ass. Because he's got 3 once, but at the same time, you kind of like him for it. He'll do weird, dumb things. He just doesn't really care that much. He just does a lot of reckless things. But he's just really funny. Especially, it's something about the way he looks, too, is just funny. I have a bunch of leopards, but there's nothing this quite like little Harry. You tell he's up to something. He doesn't do anything really that bad, but the rest of the world surrounding him just makes him even funnier. He works as a main character a lot of times for videos. Whether it's a troublemaker in the Dots family or going on a weird adventure they just want to do because he doesn't want to do anything really other than make out with his girlfriend. I just want to make out with my girlfriend. But yeah, he's definitely one of the fun. He has the he can be like a main character and funny, which is compared to has our 2 Webkinz, which I have here, that I like, which are just funny. Harry seems he works pretty well on multiple levels, and he works a lot in a lot of ways. That's why he's like up there, and I've used him quite a lot in videos. He's one of the standout members of the Dots family, in my opinion. So there you go. Number 4, the top 5 is they're pretty tight knit group, I say. The other were like I had to go debate, do I want this Webkin there? But yeah, the top 5, especially the top 4, these were like pretty much non-negotiable. They're always gonna be out there. So yeah, here we go. Ribbit, Beast Boy. Now Tyler said his favorite Webkin was Harry that he owned, but technically he said his favorite Webkin was Beast Boy. I've been told that Beast Boy is the funniest Webkin that I own. And yeah, look at this design they have for the tree frog. I've seen our tree frogs, so they all look kind of goofy, but Beast Boy just look, I can really do a lot of stuff. You can be creepy and funny. His personality is just weird. You don't know how to describe it, but he'll do some weird. He's a weird. There's weird in a weird way. Does that make any sense? But you know, you get him. He's like a certain way about him. See, Beast Boy isn't malicious. He's kind of nim-witted, but he's kind of like a weird cartoon character in a way that makes him funny. He was a character I used to use a lot as a kid, though it became more and more goofy the more I used him. At one point, he was supposed to be like a serious character, but I don't know. That was early on in his characterization when I was playing with him as a kid, and then he became more wacky till he kind of like that weird character's always in the background, and he'll pop up randomly. The character Beast Boy, he's never a main character, but he'll always pop up randomly, basically, and that's what's funny about him. He can be in any scenario, and he's like, "Hey, what's up?" And yeah, he always works in a group pretty much. I never did a video where he's solo actually, even though he's one of my favorite Webkinz. I never used him solo. This weapon I got him, and yeah, I used a crap ton out of him. And he's naked. Just kidding, he's not. But there's a lot. I like this plush style too, because you can do I also used to play with this, even his eyes. You can do stuff like this. You can play with his fingers. You can give a peace sign. I just like plushes like that. The weapon plushes are more removable. I just like the character traits I can get out of them. You know, it's pretty nice. You know, yeah, that's pretty cool. Ribbit. All right. Hey, how am I not number 1? Well, Ducky. Actually, I lied. I know the top who are gonna be top 4, but I swapped around 2 and 3 basically. I can't. They're basically very similar, but I gave the number 2 that little edge up over Ducky. Ducky's was my other brother's Webkinz, and she was always one of my favorite Webkinz. She is one of the funniest Webkinz, and she is my girlfriend's favorite Webkin, believe it or not. She has better taste than you. Ducky's is hilarious. She's just this mean girl who can be nice, but she's like, screw that. She cares more about herself, and that gets her in a lot of shenanigans. And yeah, she's just a funny Webkin. If you've seen the videos, you know why. I made like 4 videos dedicated. Ducky's a jerk basically in this channel, so yeah. From my since they're so similar, here's number 2, Furry. Hey, what's up? Furry's similar. She's another fat Webkin, but he's like calm, cool. He's a kind of a leading guy, man. Hey, I'm a leading man. Ha. Furry was like, he's funny, but he's like, you know, he doesn't like go out and be violent like Ducky. That's good. Yeah, Furry's just a weapon I always liked. I always wish I had. I had like his son Furball, but I always want Furry. And Furry's was the one I was most happy to get when I was able to inherit the other weapons. Him and Ducky. They're just you're kind of comedic duo, and that's why they're so closely ranked. Though I can see myself saying Ducky one day and Furry the next day. Ducky's funny, but Furry was around longer, so I remember having more of an attachment to him. This is one of the Webkinz I always wish I had. I always remember when it's like, oh, he's such a funny Webkin, I wish I had him. I remember thinking that as a kid, so that's why I put him over there. Definitely Ducky's more funny, but Furry, he's just like he's a lovable oaf. And make him eat funny too. I can't really do it with one hand, but there you go. Alright. I'm getting tired of talking. You already know who number 1 is. It's me! I mean, he's the mascot of my channel. Dr. Spots is the first Webkin I got that wasn't a share Webkin. The first Webkin I ever got was Loopy, who's not on the list. I don't actually have much attachment to Loopy, to be honest. Because when you have one Webkin, you can't really do much. You play it on the them on the website, and that's about it. But it wasn't until I got Spots I was able to actually play, you know, and play with a Webkin that I didn't have to share. Tara basically inherited Loopy, but I got Spots. Spots actually wanted the raccoon, but because Spots was the first Webkin I had, I played with him quite a lot and basically made his character into the a responsible dad who works as a doctor. Now, he's not really that funny. I mean, he can be, but he's a lot of quirks. He's probably the most three-dimensional character I make because he's not just all jokes. He does make jokes. He has like weird quirks. He actually likes to sing. I'm not sure if you ever noticed that, but he actually sings more than a lot of Webkinz. He has some anger problems sometimes, but he's good with his family. But some Webkinz can take him off more than others. He's definitely one of my favorite Webkinz because I've had him for so long. When you're your first Webkinz, technically, you tend to play with them more. I had him and Lil RJ were my first 2 I had by myself. So yeah, I've arced their personalities, but I always thought Lil RJ was going to be better, but Spots kind of made himself, especially when I made him a doctor, and he became the head of the Webkinz hospital, where his personality, which I kind of already had, became kind of, it went wild. It went kind of crazy at that point. That's when I was like, I know what this guy's about. And his Lux Hospital was my favorite series to do. He became my favorite Webkin pretty off almost after that. It's already had a lot of time with him before. He pretty easily became a favorite Webkin. And yeah, I became kind of the mascot of the channel for most of the videos. He's the perfect Webkin for new videos. He kind of works in a lot of situations. As a straight guy, I can make him funny. He's just a funny Webkin. He's the Webkin I've been sleeping with most of my life. That's kind of weird, dude. Whatever, Spots. So yeah, these are my favorite Webkins. There's honorable mentions, but I don't have them. So I'm gonna get them all out. If you want to see a part 2, I was saying my other top 10 favorite Webkinz, those would probably include stuff like Jumper and Philly and, I don't know, Dumbo. Just kidding. So yeah, there you go. These are my top 10 favorite Webkinz. Thank you for watching.